Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, whichever suits you best. I'm back again. I'm just going to go over a few things today. It's been a busy last couple of weeks, and I've got a busy work schedule ahead of me, so I don't have a ton of time to work on my mod right now, but I am working on it when I do have the time to. But I've started working on collision issues. I started with HABs. When I'm done with fixing up my HABs, I'll be moving on to things like I'll probably be doing weapons and like hangar bay, grav drives, engines, stuff like that after I'm done with the HABs. And then I will do structural parts last, only because there are a ton of them and it's going to take a long time to get through them. That said, I do have quite a few of the HABs done already. We'll go ahead and we're just gonna load up the game here. And start going over it. Oh, actually, before I go over that, so here's a question for all of you. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think. But I am thinking about removing all level requirements for all of the stuff in my mod, and instead having like a scaled skill design requirement for all of the various parts. So I'm thinking, for like all of the structural parts will be available at level 1. No matter what. All of the weapons from level 0 to level 10 will have 0 requirements. They'll just be available forever. The ones that are currently, like require like level 1 to 10, I'll eliminate all requirements on them. And then for currently like the stuff that requires like level 11 to level 25, I'm thinking about changing it from a level requirement to like Starship Design 1 being the requirement. And then for stuff from like level 26 to 50, Starship Design 2. From level 51 to 75, Starship Design 3. Level 76 to 100, Starship Design 4. Anything over level 100, which there's not a lot of things that require more than level 100, but I do have a few. I'll do like Starship Design 4 plus whatever that particular item is. So like if it's a ballistic weapon, it'll be like Starship Design 4 and ship ballistics like skill level 4 or whatever I can't remember what the skill is called. Actually, you know what? I can find out. It's under tech. It's ballistic weapon systems. So I would do like, actually, you know what? Starship engineering is pretty high in the skill requirement. So maybe instead of doing Starship design for like the level 11 to 25, instead of Starship design, I'll do like piloting. Since Starship design is such high, I didn't realize it was so high. I'll do like piloting. 1 will be the skill requirement for like level, like I said, from level 11 to level 25. I'll do piloting skill 1. And then for like 26 to 50, I'll do piloting skill 2. And then if it's a ballistic weapon, I'll do like ballistic 1, piloting skill 2. That'll be the kind of thing. And if it's and then when we get to like that'll be like the maximum. It'll be like maybe it might require 2 skills, and at least level 1 in one of the skills and level 2 in another skill for everything over level 11 or over level 25. And then for anything over level 50 up to 75, I'll be like piloting skill 3. That's when I'll probably add my first starship design requirement, maybe starship engineering requirement. But it'll just gradually be skill required here in the tech tree rather than level requirements. And engines would possibly after level 25, they might start requiring like engine skill 1 or engine skill 2, depending on what it is. But that's kind of my thought process. You guys will have to let me know what you think about that, whether or not you like the idea of changing from level requirements to just pure skill requirements. And like I said, with the exception of everything that's currently available up to level 10, that stuff will become just 0 skills required. It'll just be available. So that's kind of my thought process. But anyways, that's that. Now let's move on to some of the other things that I'm working on. So I've been working on collision. We're gonna go ahead and not just collision though. I've also been doing a few other things while I'm at it, but that's just because I can never work on just one thing at a time. First of all, you're going to notice that you can see into this hab now. I got rid of the two-way glass on all of these habs with these windows. I figure these windows are small enough that they don't really need to be two-way glass. They don't need to look like they're armored. I might end up making like an insert that could be put on these as like an armor plate if you wanted to cover them up. But that's just... I kind of like the idea of having ship habs with windows built in, so you don't have to add them as parts for your ship, since there are, at least in vanilla, limited part counts that you can build ships with. But something that you'll notice is that now these habs, they actually line up properly. Like top to bottom, side to side. They aren't like clipping into each other. I still have some cleanup to do, like on this one, because it's visible from the exterior. You can see a little bit of the interior floor just barely poking out of the corners. That will be fixed before I release. I already have an idea on how to fix that. But anyways, that's not really here nor there. It's just an observation. You'll also notice that these roof and like bottom part tiles, that they tile together differently than they used to, and that's because I changed the design of the roof. I gave it kind of my own flair, but it also it's tileable, so it will tile together. Like if you put two habs next to each other, the roof tiles line up the way that they should. Like they look pretty seamless, basically line directly up together. I thought it looked a little bit cooler this way. It gives it a little bit more of a unique flavor to my habs versus a lot of the other mod added habs out there. But anyways, that's one of the changes. Now let's go ahead and get inside the ship so you can see the inside changes too, because that's honestly one of the better aspects of this. Is actually, we'll go up this way just so you can see. Now you can actually see into the ship from your landing bay. You can also see out from the ship into your landing bay when you go in. I know that there's still a loading screen here, but at least it can feel a little bit more like it's seamless when you can see into your landing bay from inside the ship. I think it's a neat touch. Now, this is one of my W-habs that I have not fixed yet, so we're still getting like doubled up windows here. You'll notice here on these doors that there's all of these like door frames, and they're kind of clipping here in the middle. and that's because of how I designed my older habs and everything. This is actually the cockpit right there. This is a W hab, but I still need to fix the W habs and the cockpits. I'll get to them eventually. I just haven't gotten to them yet, but I will go ahead and show some of the habs that I have fixed so far. In fact, let's go here. We'll go into this is the glass hab. One of the nice things about this change is, first of all, the interior of these habs is a little bit bigger than it used to be. Even though the exterior is technically a little bit smaller, the interior is actually gained about 0.5 meters in all directions. So, just a little bit, about 1.5 feet maybe, in all directions. And that has allowed things to line up properly here in this glass hab, so you aren't getting a lot of that like texture flickering that you were getting before. Now, you'll still see some flickering there. That's actually the neighboring part. That's not actually happening from the glass hab. That's why you don't see it when I look in this direction, because in this direction is my elevator, which I've already fixed. And so they line up properly. You'll notice here in the doors, there's one door frame on both sides, the way it should be, the way it is in a vanilla hab. It's the exact same now with my newly designed habs. And you'll also notice that there's more space around the elevators now, which should help with like NPCs traversing around the elevators. It should all line up a lot better now. So anyways, there's that. Let's go ahead and we're going to fly up here. Actually, this is perfect because we're in the elevator hab and it's been fixed. But we are connected right here to a V-hab and it has not been fixed. And you'll notice that there's still some texture clipping and flickering here. That's actually not because of the elevator hab. It's because I haven't fixed the V-hab yet. That doubling up is happening on that side. You'll also notice it here where there's that extra door frame there in the middle that's kind of clipping. That's 100% from that hab, which hasn't been fixed yet, this glass hab. It will get fixed. In fact, I did fix the bar habs so far as the glass habs go, and I can show you that here. So this is actually my cross hab, and I've already fixed it as well. And you'll notice that the door frames line up properly and perfectly. And then we come into our bar hab. So that part's been fixed. And you'll notice that there's a lot more space now around your pool tables because of this fix. So it's just one of the advantages. It's just one of those things that you're going to notice when I do finally get this update done and out. Let's see here. Oh, let's go over here. Perfect. So here's the newly designed 2x1. You'll notice that here when I open the door, it's connected to actually this is the 1x2 and that's the 2x1. But you'll notice that the doors line up properly. Come over here, going from my 2x1 into my 1x3, and the doors line up properly. You'll also notice that the ladders all line up properly with the floors. And we can go up here into my 1x1, and again, it all lines up properly the way it's supposed to. So, and I think I already showed you guys that, and you'll notice that now these windows, they're a single width window instead of double width. And that's actually, well, I guess it was always single width when you only had, no, it was always double width when you connected. So now you'll notice it's single width. That's part of the change. It makes it's part of why I got more space on the interior. But that's what that looks like. That's what I've gotten done so far. I've pretty much done all of my basic habs. All of my cross habs are done. My 1x1, my 2x1, my 3x1, my captain's quarters, um, my security hab exterior, that's fixed up. Trying to think of what else I've done. Technically, I've actually done all of my battle stations too, but I still have to go into the interiors and fix them because they've gained so much space on the interior that the computers and like monitors and that are no longer lining up on the walls. But it just means that I'll be able to move all of these computers and that back closer to the wall, which means that you will have more space around this center section. So that is all being worked on. So yeah, anyways, you'll also notice that the floor is a little bit off now, so I'll have to fix the chair locations. I've got to fix everything. I mean, it's really what it is. I've just got to fix everything. But that won't take that long. I mean, I'll be able to do that pretty quick in the construction kit, and I haven't really touched the construction kit. Most of this is just model changes. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. But that said, please do let me know in the comments what you think about going to change or converting all of my stuff from level requirements to skill-based requirements instead. Do you think that'll be a positive change, a negative change? Let me know in the comments, and I will read them when I get the chance, and I'll take your opinions into consideration. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great one, and until the next time, bye for now.